Wu Assassin Season 1 dropped on Netflix a couple of weeks ago, and I'm finally getting around to review it. And you guys are liking this? Y'all really liking this? So Wu Assassin starring Iko Uwais. Iko Uwais is my guy. I'm so happy that he's starring and stuff, and I'm so happy that he got the proper launch pad. The Raid movie series, that could be a launch pad, but that launch pad got him in America. Now that he's in America, he needs those staple shows that will get him to the next level and get him starring in more things. I don't know how bad we want him to star in things though. So let's talk about this. I don't know how good of an actor Uwais is. I don't think that he could actually carry a narrative. He had a lot of help in here. It was a couple of people who was bringing good performances, but it was a couple of people who were god awful. They just didn't know what was going on. And Iko was one of them. But the action scenes, oh, the action scenes. So the mythology that they were introducing, I felt like that they needed to get a whole episode towards that. They kind of really missed the opportunity because we didn't fully understand how their powers was working. It was constantly inconsistencies, especially with the Wu Assassin. I mean, they introduce him and it's like he has the power of 1,000 monks and he can do this and he does that. But after a while, he's acting like a normal human being. It was kind of disappointing. After a while, he turned into a wizard instead of a super kung fu killer. Oh, but that action, the action! I also thought that they were trying to give him a little bit too much so. They also tried to give him too much character, too much depth, and it was just never working out. You never really felt the tension. So the critics are loving this one. This thing is getting that warm reception all around. Let me tell you, if they starred Byron Mann in this instead of Iko Uwais, it would have been 100. Byron Mann was in this joint killing it. I was enjoying it every time he was on screen. It reminded me of something video game like. His attitude, the way he carried himself. Man, that was just amazing every time he was on screen. And I really think that he was able to lift this thing to the acclaim that it has. But there was some stuff about his character I didn't like too. Oh, that action, the action! Really like the effects too. The effects was pretty dope. I was really surprised. Usually with stuff like this, man, you don't know what you're gonna get because they were being really ambitious, especially with their early episodes. But you can kind of tell that they was kind of crunching the budget and they kind of had to make some cuts as the episodes went on. They probably was going over budget because I felt like they wanted to do a lot more than they did. But what they did was a lot more than a lot of people expect. Another thing about movies like this that's just succeeding on so many levels is it's in a really good timing in a really good market. So Netflix doesn't have anything to this caliber, and the things that is in this caliber is kind of very similar in their execution in their kung fu movies. Now don't get me wrong, Netflix has a lot of action-packed action kung fu movies, but none of them to this caliber. So this thing is really standing as a cut above. But honestly, it's not as good as some people would lead you to believe, but it's definitely good enough. Shout out to Tommy Flanagan. I also like everything he's in, and he's the exact same in every movie. He brings nothing to no character. He just brings that Irish accent and that snarl, and it's enough to win you over. Jeez, Catherine Rennick was a miscast. But this is a really cool project. It's really ballsy. You got scenes where there was really some Asian American pride going on. You don't see a lot. And there was a lot of scenes where people were talking like straight Americans, using American slang, really showing that they're adopted to this country. And I think that that was a pretty cool touch. You don't see that a lot, and I appreciated it. So let's get to the critical score, where the critics got this thing sitting at a whopping 85%. It's just kind of crazy. And the audience is giving it a whopping 87%. This doesn't make any sense. Wait. 13 critics. 13 critics is the reason that this thing was so hot. Jesus. But there was a lot more audience members, so I'm not going to act like it's that far off. I give this thing more like a 78. I had a lot of problems with this story, but I was able to forgive him because this thing did deliver on action. But to be honest, I would only recommend this thing if you are into action movies. If you're not, go ahead and skip it. You're not missing much. But if you like action, you're missing everything. My name is Terrell. Like, share, subscribe to the channel where you can get more movie reviews that'll be better late. See you on the next one.